Hi everybody. So today we're gonna do pork chops, and here's what it looks like, right? Just pork chops, and we're gonna do it all kind of in one pan with whatever we have as usual. So for pork chops, get it as thick as possible if you can, and I'll show you why later. Okay? But first things first, we gotta season it, and I decided to do something with orange juice. And since we're doing that, I found a Tequila Lime barbecue rub. It's a little clunked up, but we'll work with it, right? So we're just gonna add some pepper because you always need fresh pepper, and some of this. I'm gonna shake it up so it breaks up the seasoning. My oven's already on as usual. You want everything on and hot so it's fast. Do a little bit of this. Okay, and the pan's hot. I'm going to turn it up higher. A little bit of oil. Okay, use a little brush. Just spread it around. Alright, so I'm going to put the pork chops in. And season side down first so I can season the other side, right? Okay, and then we'll season the other side. Some of this. Whoops. Alright, so while that's going, I have water boiling here. We got some little potatoes that I actually got from work. Now we're going to stab it, leave it in the bag so it doesn't go all over. You're just going to stab it so that it doesn't explode on you in the water. Alright. Rinse it off, keep it in the bag so everything's neat and tidy. And there we go. And then I'm going to cut it open and put it in the pan. Okay, now we cut it open. Dump it in. I'm going to boil it. Check on our pork chops. Yeah, it's browning a little well. I'm going to add a little bit more oil. Alright, that's good. Now I'm gonna do the other side. That's a lot of pretty big pork chops, but we'll have leftovers for lunch. Alright. Browning up. I also have a pan here that we're gonna roast the potatoes in. It's kind of just heating, so it's ready to go and hot when I'm ready to go. Okay, we got a little bit of color on both sides, and this is why you want it thick. Okay, stand it on the top, and that's how you get pork chops or even porterhouse steaks or anything like that evenly cooked, because the heat is going to transfer up the bone and cook the inside. So you always want to heat the bone up just like that. And you know I like garlic, so I'm going to add some garlic to the pan. And you don't really need a lot of browning in the bone itself because you don't eat that part, right? So as long as you feel the heat is coming up, that's fine. I'm going to add some orange juice. Right? Let that heat up. You want to bring it to boil before you put it in the oven, always, because if not, liquids rarely come to a boil in the oven, and then it'll just really just stew and take forever. Now what I'm doing is I'm turning it so that the fat portion of the chop faces out, because that's where you get the most heat on the outside. Alright, just like that. Now that everything's coming to a boil, I have my oven already hot. It's actually on broil. And I'm going to put it in just like that. Right? And we're going to shut it. And of course turn off the heat. And we'll be back in a few minutes. Go. Hi, we're back. I'm going to check on the pork chops a little bit, because I did not use the probe thermometer just now. So we're going to take it out. It's been about 10 minutes on a broiler, right? Heat back on, keep it hot. I'm going to take a temp, and yeah, it's still in the 80s, so it's nowhere near done. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put one of these probe thermometers in, and you look at the link below to see where I got it. You can get the same one. It's very affordable. Okay, and I'm setting it as 135. Okay, it's 135 for final end temp. So while this is going, I'm actually going to add a little bit of fennel, because I found some fennel in the fridge, right? So we're just going to chop it up. This is just for flavor. So I'm just going for, you know, kind of like a slice. And kind of fennel with orange usually works really nice, right? So we're going to do that. Doing that. So we're going to put a little bit of that around where there's some space. Right. Shake the pan a little bit. Okay, then I'm going to turn off the heat, and back in the oven it goes. And seeing that the top is getting a little brown, I might actually turn it to an oven setting instead of broiler, because I don't want it to brown on top any further. Alright, so turn it to oven. I have it as hottest temperature possible, looking for 135. Now in the meantime, we can actually plate. We're going to use this plate to put the food in. I like to work with large platters. Found some spinach, so we're going to do some spinach, kind of a salad, and with a warm dressing that we can do from the pan as a pan sauce later on. Okay, so spinach. I'm going to add a little bit of pesto to it. Okay. Olive oil. And a little bit of pepper. I'm not going to salt it because the pesto has salt already. Okay. And I'm going to wash my hands a little bit. And we're just going to mix it up a little bit. Okay. So that it's kind of evenly seasoned. Yes. Okay. like the play of raw and crisp versus something cooked. So kind of this is the raw and crisp part. Okay, you can. We're gonna push it to the side because we're gonna put the meat in here later on, right? So that's that. Now,
we can stop it there if we want, right?
yes, you can. Now we're gonna check on the potatoes. They've been boiling for a little bit, right? And see if they're done. They're small, so they should be pretty much done, and they are. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna strain them. I'm gonna put them in this hot pan, which I had preheating, and you can play music. Potato goes in. Not only one, of course, all of them. I'm going to turn off this heat. Strain the potatoes. Okay. Right.
Then go backwards. I want to try the other way to
All right. Just a bit of salt. You can pepper it later. I don't really want the pepper to burn. Okay. And that's going to go in the oven as well, since the oven's on. Right? And it's already cooked. You're just looking to brown it. And we'll be back after a few minutes. Okay. Alright, so it's beeping, which means it has hit temp, or I set it at 135, which I like for pork because there's going to be carryover, right? So I'm going to take it out, leave the potatoes in there. Maybe move it to the top. Right? So you turn off the oven because remember the potatoes are already done. I'm gonna pull this out and also pull that out. Right? So pork chops are already done. I'm gonna put them here. Turn this back on. Okay. Ow. So accidents happen. That's when I try to rush too much. So this is cooking down. I'm going to add a little bit of peas, just frozen peas, right? What the heck, we'll add the whole thing. Okay, add a little bit more orange juice because it's drying up. Kind of deglaze it a little bit. Now this would be a good time to taste it. I'm going to wash my hand a little bit because it's burning. Always run cold water when you burn your hands as quickly as you can. All right. Okay, it's nice and sweet, sour. It's missing some salt. So I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. Okay. Now, we are gonna add the potatoes on top of the, well, next to the pork chops. Kind of like that. While that comes to a boil, woo! All right. Okay. And then turn this off. And it should be ready to go. I'm actually going to get my this thing out so I don't burn myself again. All right. And basically we're going to pour it over the pork chops. Okay? And I'm not going to care if some go over the spinach because it's kind of like a warm dressing. All right? And that's basically the dish. Pork chops with orange sauce or orange juice sauce, roasted potatoes, and spinach. Thank you, and please subscribe.